We on. What's up, man?
What up? What up? What up? What up?
How that week going?
Man, the week is going, man. Going fast. You know,
Guess
lot,
what I
lot.
did tonight?
Yeah. What you do?
I went to an open house for a high school student. I got a high schooler
What?
come this Monday.
What?
Yep,
Man, how you feeling about it, Keith? I,
man. It's like a step towards the start to the final step. It's getting surreal. You know what I mean? Like
Huge
talking,
milestone.
yeah, talking about going to college. Talk about how serious this year is. Get off to a good start. You know what I'm saying? And I know I got to talk to him about the little chicks and um, the ins and outs that go with that. Because your boy does not want to become no grandfather these next 4 years.
Oh no! It's too soon for that. You don't need that, right? You know
Nah,
what
I
I mean?
don't
But
need that action in my life.
y'all, man, I'm telling you, man. But no, congratulations to Junior. You know what I mean? Hey, you know what I mean? And sending prayers up, man. That he has an amazing 4 years, which I'm sure he is, man. He's highly active in sports, football and basketball especially. How you
Yeah,
feeling? How you feeling about that?
I'm feeling good about it. I'm excited for what's coming to high school. I actually talked to the track coach while I was out there tonight,
Oh, nice.
so we
Okay.
might get in on that action.
Okay. Good.
That's gonna help him with both sports. So we'll see how that rolls.
All season athlete, man. You know what I mean? Stay in shape.
Yep.
But you know what? Right now, oh, hold up. I almost forgot. We on a beat with Keep It Burning.
Hey,
Oh!
let's go.
Hey, look, man, we got. It's been some weird news this week, man.
It's crazy.
Some weird news.
We living in weird times. Period.
It is, man. Like real talk. I mean, I don't know. Some of it is bad news. Some of it is surprise news. Some of it is, yo, what you got going on, bro?
Right. Right.
Well, man, let's get into it.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So first thing we got Shannon Sharpe, quote unquote, steps away or fired from ESPN for the settlement that he had with that young lady. Jane Doe is her name, but as we know, she's already come out on Instagram saying she's retired from OnlyFans and or OF, and that pretty much Shannon Sharpe retired her with this settlement. So um, there's some reporting on it because the only thing I wondered is it's kind of been a couple of weeks, so why now is the firing versus when it first happened? And they said earlier in the month, according to the Athletic, that Shannon Sharpe reached a settlement with a woman who accused him of sexual assault. And here's what kind of gets me: the attorney shared on X that Sharpe and this young lady were in a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship and had engaged in protracted and respectful negotiations. So they were in a consensual relationship, um, but he still had to come to a settlement. I'm kind of wondering the details. Like, did he lay hands on her, or I just wondering because the reported number is $23 million is what they settled, and so I'm just kind of wondering if it was consensual and tumultuous. It cost you $23 million.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation. From what I understand, um, and I've been following some attorneys who've been speaking on it, but a part of the settlement was to come out and say that it was consensual.
Consensual,
Yeah, so that he wasn't, on the line for the sexual assault charges.
right,
Um, well, it wasn't charges. It was a civil suit either way.
right, right.
But the big thing here is, I think ESPN, to answer your first question with the 2 weeks thing, he signed a multi-year contract with ESPN, and
Right.
as
So
we
it cost him more than $23,
right,
$23 million.
right, so um, and as we know, he when all of the information initially came out, he voluntarily, of his own volition, walked away from ESPN, to, to, as he said, to deal with family matters, to focus on, on the lawsuit. But it just seems like something, man. Keep to be honest. I mean, I feel like, speak for most people when I say we kind of, felt like this was coming. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
It wasn't looking good. And it was kind of a second. It's not the first incident he's had since he's been at ESPN, as we know. He had the accidentally going on IG Live situation. You know what I mean? With Michelle. We still don't know which Michelle it was or who it was, but from what I understand, I don't know if you saw this, but from what I understand, that kind of set it off. That set all of this off. Like it got under the girl's skin when, because he was allegedly supposed to be dating her
exclusively.
Yeah. So, they're saying that this right here kind of like popped everything off with her and kind of put her on her, her line of thinking and, starting to set this thing in motion. But, it's unfortunate, man. But the good thing is, I'll say, Keith, is like, while Shannon Sharpe was at his height, when he was with Skip Bayless or Skip and Shannon, he did create avenues for himself to own his own product.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, you still got Club Shay Shay, you still got Nightcap. He owns that. So it's like, I don't think he's gonna be hurt too bad. But I mean, I'm sure that he is.
I don't think so either, and I think he'll get another shot at TV. I really do. It's probably gonna, this thing's gonna have to come up off of him a bit, but like you said, it was consensual. You haven't really heard any graphic stories or him whooping on her, beating on her, things of that nature. So things like that, I think it'll go away, whether he goes back to ESPN but to your point, he set up such good platforms for himself. I think he's going to be just fine treading water till he finds another big opportunity or another stream of income per se. The only thing that I have for Shannon is all that mentoring and judgmental talk he gave to Ocho for all that time, or that he gives to Ocho. I don't know if he has a leg to stand on when it comes to that anymore after this situation.
Yeah, Ocho ain't doing too bad. Matter of fact, hey, while you playing, Ocho guest starred on First Take, I think earlier this week.
Oh, there it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean that's looking like, going in different directions, or whatever analogy you want to use as far as like throwing bricks out of glass houses and all of that.
Right.
But Ocho good, man. But I mean, yeah, man, look, you want to judge somebody, make sure your laundry's clean.
That's right.
But best, I'm confident, man, that he's gonna be okay. I don't think he really lost any of his endorsements as it pertains to his
sponsorships or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think he didn't lose anything. So I mean, like, really, the only thing was it's ESPN. That's a Disney brand, so they have to protect themselves, in regards to that, and they can't let so many things slide. I do know that they didn't make the decision to fire him until he settled the lawsuit. So, that was something that was also put out there.
Oh, there it is. You got anything else on this topic?
I got nothing, man.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
To former NBA star, new podcasting star over at Gilbert Arenas, arrested on organized gambling charges. I thought there was something recent, but I mean, it is recent because the indictment just came down July 15th, but it was just unsealed today. And so what he was doing is the defendants accused of operating an illegal gambling business from September 2021 to July 2022. And what he was doing was renting out his mansion for the purpose of hosting illegal high-stakes poker games. The defendants are said to have collected a rake, a fee the house charged from each pot, and staffed the games with young women, chefs, valets, and armed security guards. So he was kind of running an operation. I thought it was just maybe him and some NBA players gambling, but he was kind of running a mini casino out of his crib.
That's that's exactly what it looks like, allegedly. You know what I mean? I guess innocent until proven guilty. But so yeah, they were saying that. I mean, he was running. It was like a lot of like mostly poker. His poker is the primary game of choice, and they had, they called them female companions, but we know what that means, especially on the West Coast.
Right.
But he had that. They said he had like security. I mean, it was like really like he had his own casino mansion situation. I know he's being charged of one count of attempting illegal gambling and one count of actually partaking in illegal gambling, and then his third count is on, I guess, giving out false information to the feds.
Yeah, you can't lie to them, especially if he lied. Under oath?
Yeah. I mean, he, with federal charges, man, and I guess it was more of an attempt to to be deceptive, towards a federal agent or whatever the case. But so he was hosting. I mean, you said you said something interesting. You said that he was renting out his mansion. So is that would that be implying that he wasn't always there when it was going on?
That's a good question because it doesn't state the facts. He could have just been using his crib. It could be a multitude of things. He could be like, y'all can use the crib this weekend. I ain't there. Then there the next weekend. I mean, because it's saying it went from September of 2021 to July. So almost a year he did this.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there was times he was there and there was times he wasn't. And I'm just wondering who snitched, who ratted.
And it's hard to say because I mean, a big part of this was, they were talking about the people he was, you brought up that him doing it, who he was doing or running it with, and one of the big digs was an Israeli crime lord. You know what I mean? Essentially, a guy who ran an organized crime organization, and
his name is Yevgeny Gershman.
Yeah, he's so if he's under investigation, you know what I mean.
Got you. They following him around.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yep.
Bingo.
So it could have came from that. It might not even have been a snitching situation, or it could have It could have happened so many different ways because if there were a multitude of things that were going on that weren't necessarily legal, then somebody could have got busted for something else, and that led to a tip on this or whatever the case.
Because he's charged with a conspiracy to commit marriage fraud. He's also charged with marriage fraud and making a false statement on an immigration document after being accused of conspiring to enter a sham marriage with a 35-year-old for the purposes of obtaining permanent legal status in the United States and lying to the immigration authorities.
And just clarify who you're talking about.
Which obviously he did this under Biden, but now he did this under Trump.
Yeah, this ain't the time to do it. Who clarify who you're talking
about. Luckily, I'm talking about Gershman, the Israeli 49-year-old. He but lucky for him, he's Israeli. For whatever reason, this particular administration seems to be partial to Israelis, regardless of if he's a criminal or not. So, I mean, they're not going to lock him up and ship him away. I mean, I'm sure he's being charged with this stuff by the Justice Department. So it's just weird to see like how close some of these industries get to the criminals. You know what I mean? You would think Gil would learn his lesson from the Javaris Clinton situation. But hey, here we are. So now he's facing 5 years, I guess they're saying, in prison. And to your point, could tack on more with perjury, lying to feds. So,
and there, I mean, I heard someone say this earlier when this came out. You know, a lot of people felt like he got off easy in that situation with Crittenton, and this could be viewed to some people, as like a karma situation. You know, because especially with that Netflix documentary recently coming out,
Right.
you know what I mean. It really shed light on, how of course, people make their own decisions.
Well, they all kind of got off on that because Critton didn't really. Maybe I don't know. Did it cost him his career? I feel like he played a little bit after that. The thing that cost Critton is he got into that gang life.
You got to the gang stuff, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Now, granted, they both kind of got off a little bit, but Gil wasn't out there. I think didn't he shoot somebody?
Yeah. He shot shooting somebody, and then he hit like the girl. It was like the girlfriend, or
Right.
it was an innocent bystander essentially.
Right.
Killed her. But yeah, so I mean, one can argue that he kind of went down that path, after everything went down with the Wizards. You know what I
Right.
mean? Kind of
Yeah.
set, down at because he ended up going over, but you could translate it or view it any kind of way, depending on how you see fate or whatever. But he, at the end of the day, he made his own decisions. You know what I mean? I'm not, I wouldn't blame. I personally wouldn't blame Gilbert Arenas for it, but some people see it, and they see that documentary, and it was just, they're like, man, this guy's in here playing with guns, and instigating. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. People have their opinions, but I think, this is a tough one. I know he got out on bail and everything, and you said so. This actually happened.
They don't always. So the feds don't always give you bail. What they do sometimes is release you under your own recognizance.
I
Then
thought it
you
was a
show up to court.
$50,000 bill.
Oh, they said they did say he got to pay bail.
Yeah, I saw ESPN report. I thought it said he had a $50,000 bill. And he had to go before before the U.S. District Court.
Right.
But yeah, it's a crazy situation, man. I mean, I guess we'll see how it plays out. I mean, we don't know who's guilty, who's innocent until the courts tell us.
If you had to ask me to guess, I would say he's gonna cop a plea.
I wonder what that would look like, though. You know what I mean? What would his plea deal look like?
He doesn't really have a criminal history like that. I don't think did he have gun charges for that Crittenton situation?
No, they just got punished by the NBA.
By the NBA.
Yeah.
So I would say, if you had to ask me, first time offender, gambling, if he's facing 5, they might ask him to do 1 or 2. But I definitely see him probably getting some kind of supervised release.
Yeah.
Maybe house arrest. I don't see him getting like significant time, but I don't see him getting totally off either. So
yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, we were just talking about his son and everything,
right?
And there are conspiracy theorists out there, trying to put it out there, that the accident that his son was in was, something dealing with a gambling debt that might have been done intentionally by somebody.
Right.
I don't know if you heard that kind of energy being put out.
Nah, I didn't. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, so it's a lot of speculation going around out there. Like, people are starting to look at that situation differently. I beg, I don't feel that way. I think it was an accident. You know what I mean? But I mean,
right.
What do I know? I don't know. I just found out the man might have had a whole gambling ring, earlier today.
Right.
So who knows, man? Who knows anything anymore? But we were just talking in our last show about how much that family has been going through.
That's right.
And, I'm sure this doesn't help at all.
Not at all. I mean, just got to get through it. Hopefully the son's all right too, with the knee injury still. But, this last 6 months or so has been a hell of a ride for them.
Yeah. Oh, it's been crazy, man. It's been crazy, man. Maybe he'll come on Gil's Arena, and maybe he can't really speak on it because I'm pretty sure his lawyers got him.
Right.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right, switch it up. We'll go our final topic. Have a little fun with this.
All right.
So, big man, defensive tackle Christian Wilkins, former Miami Dolphin, now former Oakland Raider, cut for some questionable action, I'll say.
Question.
Let me ask you this: are you surprised he got cut for that?
Am I surprised he got cut for that? No, to be honest, when I heard it and when I kind of read the report, it felt like it was a little more to it than that. And this was like there are other things that transpired that aren't that aren't being publicized, and this was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak.
Did you see where the incident happened?
Said where? Where was it? Tell us, Keith.
In a team meeting room.
Oh man!
Or what? So you're in the meeting watching film, but how serious those meetings are around this time of year, training camp and all that. So who knows?
So I thought when I heard about it was just like they're saying like a locker room. You know what I mean? Like
it happened in the team meeting,
but it was in the middle of a team meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow!
And then the complaint was filed to Raiders HR department, and they did an investigation, which is crazy because here's one or two things I'm thinking, and maybe I'm spitballing and conspiracy theory, because he just signed a 4-year, $110 million deal with the Raiders, but now the rest of the guaranteed money, which is $35 million, is voided. So I don't know if he wanted to do that, because I do remember him being a primetime free agent. He had some big years down in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the second high-profile star to do outlandish stuff to get cut in recent years. Antonio Brown being the other.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he get in there and he's like, I don't want to play here. Let me do something foolish to get out of there. I don't know.
There are so many layers to this story, man. Like it's just for one, I don't know if you saw. I posted it in the in one of our groups. I think the Facebook group. Make sure y'all follow the Unbeaten Keith and Bernie on Facebook. But he has a history of this type of stuff. You know what I mean? So like he'll do little stuff to people like in piles on the field. You know what I mean? I saw it was a clip of him violating Josh Allen after a play was over. You know what I mean? And a fight almost broke out. I mean, he does little stuff like that, man. Grabbing people in the junk, on the field.
I'm talking about it. And if he want the cat, he gotta spend it. He claim he smacked this shit. No, he didn't. Can't be running around the city like we did. Drop it out. Why you up my image? Can't let him hit it cause he trying to tell the business. Won't suck him, can't kiss him. Can't let him hit it cause he trying to tell the business. Won't suck him, can't kiss him.
So he kind of has like a little history, of doing little antics, like this. So I'm wondering what the state of mind was for, the gentleman that reported him.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, because, I heard the Breakfast Club this morning, man. Charlemagne the God, he gave the Raiders donkey of the day.
Donkey of the day.
Yeah, he gave the Raiders donkey of the day because he was like, yo, y'all cut somebody because he gave somebody a kiss on the forehead. Like, and he went on this whole, the diatribe that he goes through, basically saying like there are way more questionable things that happen on a football team than that. You know what I mean? And that being one of them. But, I heard Jess Hilarious brought up an interesting point. He's like, okay, what if, Christian is actually, he's a homosexual male. Then him kissing a guy on the forehead is received a different way.
That's right.
you know what I mean, by the guy, because he's like, yo, he's hitting on me versus
he's playing a practical joke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He's trying to.
Is it? I don't know if I would like that as a practical joke.
No, either way, it's not. There's nothing okay about it. I mean, I tend to lean more to, people know he be playing like that, and they be like, man, look, let me bring that mess over here. I know how you know what I mean? It's like, I know how you are. I've seen how you be acting. Don't bring it over here. And he just brought it to somebody who didn't particularly like him.
So I'm wondering what kind of the guy he brought it to, because it obviously wasn't a guy that would punch him in the face.
Right.
So, because he's not a little dude, defensive tackle. He's probably one of the bigger guys on the team.
He's massive.
I wonder if he went to the kicker.
I think it's like, man, because you look at the way he moves, it's like more of a trolling type of thing.
Right.
So, man, he might have been bullying somebody for all we know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not accusing the man of bullying anybody, just so people know before y'all run with that. But it could be anything, man. That's why I say this is a multi-layered situation, because I'm like, they try, it's trying his agent or whatever is trying to simplify it as something, he kissed him on the forehead and got cut. I just don't think it's just that. It's way more to it than that.
'Cause I started to think, like, is he looking terrible at training camp, or was Pete Carroll hired before they signed him? Does he even want him on the team? Does he go with Pete Carroll's defensive philosophies and principles? I mean, because you're going to sign a guy and make that kind of investment. Now, granted, you don't have to pay the $35 million or whatever, but and then just going to cut him, a guy I think most teams would like to have based on talent. Mm-hmm. So that's what I ask you next. Who do you think would look to get a guy like that?
It depends on the coach. I think a lot of owners wouldn't mind having him. You know what I mean? Probably GMs. But I think it's going to come down to the culture of the team.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's certain locker rooms that are just going to be no nonsense with that foolishness. Pete Carroll being one of them.
Right.
He's old school. So it'll be somebody needs some, DT help. You know what I mean? Look, Dallas, we'll take him. You know what I mean?
I was going to say.
Look, historically, I'm sure Jerry would, if he's for the right price, Jerry would sign him. But I don't know if Shoddy would necessarily be on board with that, because he seems to be building an entirely different culture in that locker room than what we've seen in previous years. So he might not want to disrupt that with something, But it also comes down to the coaches being able to speak to the player and really get a feel of where his mental is at or where he's at. You know what I mean? Kind of like they did with George Pickens. So of course, this is an entirely different matter.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think he's a talented player. I mean, not everybody just gets what 4-year, $110 million contract. That's not something you just give.
$35 million guaranteed.
Yeah. So I mean, he's definitely something that.
Well, also another angle I might take is, I taught philosophy. Maybe the Raiders, they're so poorly run. They sign them and then got them in the building? Was like, nah, we don't. I just don't. Nothing makes sense with the whole situation. To your point, maybe some more will come out as we get some more information. We'll see why. In a vacuum, I can't see why you would just cut a guy that's talented, even something as egregious as what he did. I'm with you. I think there has to be a lot more to this story than what's being reported.
Oh, yeah. No doubt, man. I'm sure more will come out as time goes, you know what I mean? But yeah, right now I'm not buying the whole, he just kissed the guy on the forehead. You know what I mean? That there's definitely more to it. He probably did. I mean, he might have did some other things, you know what I mean, that were rubbing the coaching staff the wrong way, along the way. And then I think this was something that was just, like I said, the cherry on top.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's it right there, man. Okay, now you're going too far.
Yeah, maybe he didn't come to OTAs and do other things that they did since they signed him. I don't know. I'm just curious to know what else he's been doing.
Right.
And you're kind of gonna have an idea if he doesn't get signed somewhere that there might be more to what's going on with him than meets the eye.
Yeah, because at some point, when you got like an HR issue like that, you start teetering into the the conduct situation.
Right.
Is there an NFL punishment involved for personal conduct, detrimental to the team or whatever, so there are a lot of factors in there with that. But I mean, if he gets a suspension or if it's worthy of suspension, or I mean, if not, I am more than certain somebody's gonna pick him up. It ain't, one of these teams are in need, or a lot of these teams are in need of some interior defensive help.
Yeah, that's right. Especially somebody as dominant as him.
Oh yeah. But it's all about tolerance, man. The coaching staff, and what their tolerance is. I think somebody like a Mike Tomlin would be able to probably reel him in.
Right.
If you want to say reel him in, I can't even say reel him in. I'm going to say Mike Tomlin is a guy that's used to dealing with characters.
He is.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see.
Well, hey, that's a wrap, man.
It's a wrap, man.
It's a wrap.
Y'all make sure, everybody, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for coming here and joining us and being with us, man. We about to rock out, man. Keith, I'm excited about the football season.
Who isn't? Let's go, man. Let's
go. We getting these lives going. We about to get, man. I'm excited. You know what I mean? We about to. Hey, we got to get this show. We got to do this this breakdown of the schedule, man. Y'all stay tuned for that, man. As
hey, and if y'all have any schedules y'all want us to break down or anything, comment. Let us know.
Yep, drop in the comments, man. Who y'all want us to break down? Who is your team? Who is your favorite team, man? You know what I mean? The New York Giants, Carolina Panthers, the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll break them all down and let you know, what we think, and we'll engage you into the conversation to see, what the breakdown is. How does your team measure up against the rest? How will they finish?
Bingo, there it is.
Until next time.
And we out.